not a member of the church, but I am a member of the body of Christ. And I spent the last 30 years in and out of prisons, and drug addiction and drug dealing, living on the streets. I had no place to call my home. I'll try not to say too much, but I may. Is it hard to hear me? Okay, I can't speak into a microphone, so I'll try my best. Okay, is that better? Okay. So my testimony this morning, I think I would just like to say a little bit of where I came from, and that is that I spent the majority of my life in sin. I accepted Christ when I was about 7 years old, and about 4 years later, my mother, who led me to Christ, died of cancer. And so that kind of sent me into a tailspin, and my life was just empty after that, you know. I love Jesus. I love serving the Lord. I don't know if I'm doing it right or not, but I certainly try every day when I get up. And, you know, the turning point for me was the most incredible time in my life. I mean, it is the single most, I think, important time for me when I gave my life to God. I had been going in and out of jails. I had basically been living an empty, homeless, lonely, cold, desperate life. I don't know how else to put it. I think that's the best way I can put it. And I just didn't feel like I belonged. I didn't feel like I was loved. I couldn't love myself. I also suffer from bipolar, which 30 years untreated, you know, I did some pretty tragic things. My family was pretty upset at some of the things I had done, and I didn't understand the things I was doing. I just know that I had this big empty hole inside of me, and it was like a God-shaped vacuum, you know, that only God can fit there, but I just didn't know it. And so I tried putting everything, you know, the casino, gambling, relationships, whatever, and it just fell right through like a sieve. You know, nothing would stick, and so I just was empty, and I was empty. And about a year ago, I had the opportunity to spend a little time in the Logat Motel. And during that time, I started to attend Bible studies. I started praying. I started reading my Bible every day. And slowly my life began to change. And what and who I am today is unrecognizable compared to who I used to be. I'm not going to stand up here and say, God changed my life, because he didn't. God changed my heart. And with that, my life began to change. And, you know, I still struggle with things. I'm an average, normal Christian, I think. You know, I still, man, I spent 30 years serving Tim's will. And in a short amount of time I've been serving God's will, it's a huge relief to not have to control the world. Yeah. So, you know, with what God is doing in my life currently, God's given me a real tool, and it's prayer. You know, what I like to do is I pray for people. I'll take an opportunity if someone says they're hurting and I don't know them. This is just out in the community or anywhere. I will. I'll grab their hands up and I'll say, can I pray with you? You know, and I will. I'll pray with anybody. And it kind of helps me lose my fear of people, and it also gives me the understanding that we're all the same. We're all the same. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you know, been to 10 colleges and lived an amazing life in a huge house, you know, you still have the same problems. You're a human being. And you still suffer from that same emptiness and that same need for God. And so I just want to say that, I mean, I do serve this church in the capacity of being on the music ministry team with a few other members here, and I love that. I mean, that is an amazing thing for me, because I'm not a real good speaker. I don't sing. I'm not a real social person, or at least I haven't learned to be yet. And so music is my thing. I can stand up here and I can worship God with my instrument. And that has brought me to a place of feeling like I have a home here. So being in ministry has helped me to get to know each one of you a little bit at a time. And finally, I'm starting to recognize that I do have a place to be in life. And I have a home, and I have a family. And it may not look like the home and family that I always thought it should, but it looks like you guys. And I'm pretty happy today. You know, I've been clean and sober almost a year now. And it's God that keeps me clean and sober one day at a time. You know, the 12-step programs help me to understand that. But really, when it comes down to it, it's the power of God that keeps me clean every day. And so I guess my future part in this ministry for this church would just be to maybe continue to serve on the music ministry and to be involved with some sort of recovery-based 12-step project that we could use to bring people off the streets to find Jesus and to get the wonderful peace and hope and joy and love and all the spiritual principles that I have in my life today. I would love to share that with people who are still out there in their disease. So that's pretty much what I've got for this morning. I love you guys. Thank you.
Love you too, Jeff.